Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Lowcountry News. I'm Monica Justice.
And I'm Warren Truth. Today is July 1st, 2026. We have another exciting show for everyone today, so let's get right to it. Up next, local news.
At the start of the new month, some new laws are now in effect in the state of South Carolina. News 2 has everything you need to know about the upcoming changes. One new law establishes statewide requirements for public school grading systems. Teachers in some districts were not allowed to give zeros or failing grades below a certain number. This new law changes that, and districts that keep doing it could lose some state funding. Supporters say the change will make sure the grades students receive match their work. It also limits credit recovery and content recovery programs, meaning students will be required to submit all original assignments on time to be eligible to retake failed courses. It also requires the State Board of Education to establish a task force to evaluate and recommend revisions to the uniform grading policy. Also coming to South Carolina schools is the Smart Heart Act. It requires every public school in the state to have a cardiac emergency response plan. It also requires that automated external defibrillators are available at all school athletic venues, including events off-site. While it takes effect today, it will be fully implemented next school year in order to give school districts time to prepare for the rollout. Out on the water, there are now limits on the number of red drum fish you can catch, no more than 2 per boat in a single day. The fish also must be between 18 and 25 inches long if you want to keep the fish. This comes after the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources determined red drum has become overfished. Experts say the restrictions will help red drum population. For more on the laws that take effect today, head on over to our website, counton2.com.
A new law recently passed by the South Carolina legislature could help small business owners save money and prioritize their business. House Bill 3021, or the Small Business Regulatory Freedom Act, passed both chambers and was ratified yesterday. It's designed to significantly cut back the number of regulations imposed by the state government. Right now, South Carolina has around 80,000 state regulatory restrictions, rules, licensing, ordinances, and other requirements. For example, some businesses are required to install and maintain certain devices like Knox boxes filled with emergency equipment in place so that first responders can readily access them. Another example requires some pools to keep a payphone near the private property to provide a reliable device for emergency communication. However, with the accessibility of cell phones today, the payphones can be an unnecessary cost for some business owners. This law aims to consolidate and remove some of these outdated or unnecessary barriers.
And it's about investment. It's going to lead to new investment, new opportunities, protect our small business owners. It's also going to restore the separation of powers and ensure everyday folks are having policies that impact them that are going to be implemented by people they elect to work on policy.
Also creates a committee made up of small business owners from across the state to review any potential new regulations. The bill was ratified yesterday and will head next to the governor's desk for his signature.
If you live in the city of Georgetown, a new utility payment plan goes into effect today. Leaders say it will help give you temporary financial relief while maintaining accountability for repayment. Under the plan, you will be able to pay a delinquent utility account balance between 2 and 6 months in monthly payments. You must remain current on all new utility charges while on the plan. The city is also choosing not to increase utility rates during this fiscal budget year. You can learn more by visiting the city's website.
Well, News 4's June community partner, James Island Outreach, is truly living by their motto, helping neighbors, uniting community. Our Terraston Clark shows us how the nonprofit is making a big impact here in the Lowcountry.
It means everything to me. Like, it's so helpful.
Kirby Murphy has been coming to James Island Outreach for 2 years.
It's really, really wonderful. They're amazing people here. You can go through and shop every 30 days, and you can come on Saturdays and get just emergency bags of food. And when you're on a budget, food is wonderful.
James Island Outreach is a nonprofit that started soon after Hurricane Hugo.
When Hurricane Hugo hit, there was already about a dozen churches that were kind of loosely aligned and doing things in the community. And they all decided, well, we need to do something. Let's start helping. And it started first a lot of home repairs, debris removal, a lot of hurricane recovery aspects. And out of that also came kind of a crisis center with food and water. As the dust settled from Hugo, James Island Outreach was born.
While they've added other programs over the years, their primary program is the Client Choice Food Pantry.
Our eligibility requirements are very simple. There's only two. You have to be a resident of South Carolina. Household income has to be below set limits that we get actually dictated to us by the Department of Agriculture.
Since the beginning of the year, they've helped over 600 households.
Last year alone, for the full year, was 900. So I think we're going to be beyond that again this year. For the last 3 years, our numbers have gone up 20 to 25% each year.
Recent renovations to their pantry will allow them to better serve the members of the community.
July 20th will be our grand opening for the new pantry, expanded one. And the great thing about it, this expansion will allow us to double the space in our pantry and double the space in our stockroom. So it will allow us to accommodate the increased numbers.
Volunteers like Sydney Davis find giving back rewarding.
The clientele is just amazing, and they're working really hard to help with their finances, get that straightened out, help them, and then we obviously make sure they have good stuff to eat.
Working for you, Cheriston Clark, News 4.
Well, it's not just about the food assistance. James Island Outreach is also teaching people how to manage their money.
We wanted to help the community achieve better financial balance. So about 3 years ago, a group of volunteers and myself got together and we started the program, Financial Resources Workshop.
So in that first class, they go over general finances. Then clients advance to a second class and work one-on-one with a volunteer on personal financial plans.
In the last 3 months, we've had over 60 participants in our workshops, and about 20 participants completed the second class where they completed their financial plan, and which is exciting.
300 people have participated in the workshops. For more information on food pantry and drive-through distribution hours, or to learn more about their financial resources workshops, head to our website, abcnews4.com.
We appreciate our boss's true perspective for allowing us to be casual today, considering the extreme heat. We hope everyone is staying safe and hydrated. Let's move ahead to worldwide news.
Everyone, we begin tonight here with that brazen stunt right here in New York City on top of the Empire State Building, on top of the antenna, 1,454 feet up. Millions watching it all unfold on live TV. Two people dressed in black and wearing masks climbing to the top of the spire of the Empire State Building. Helicopters circling there. The couple then unfurling a banner, and we'll show you what it said, their apparent message. And then one of the climbers appearing to propose, getting down on one knee and pulling out a ring. All of this without harnesses in searing heat and wind. And just in tonight, take a look at this. NYPD body camera video, officers making the climb to arrest them. Tonight, the two climbers have been identified. They face charges and, of course, the questions surrounding how they got past security. Here's our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky, leading us off tonight.
Tonight, this jaw-dropping, death-defying climb in the heart of New York City, captivating the country. High anxiety at high noon as two masked daredevils scaled the very tip of the Empire State Building, nearly 1,500 feet in the air.
Two geniuses climbed to the top of the Empire State Building, the top of the spire. Oh, that's awesome. It's a little hot for that, isn't it?
The audacious stunt, more than 100 stories above the sweltering streets of Midtown Manhattan, caught by circling news helicopters. Our New York station, WABC, live on the air with reporter Tom Kaminsky.
We're just getting onto the scene here now, but I am just a little bit queasy looking at two people that have climbed to the very top of the antenna of the Empire State Building, and they are holding a banner.
The man and woman dressed in black and wearing masks casually balanced at the top of that antenna. No tethers, no net, just a gusty wind and a dizzying drop. Those climbers came with a message, unfurling a banner reading, "When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace." On the ground, police rushing in, closing streets and ordering the observation deck evacuated. Witnesses left wondering, was this a protest, a threat?
Absolutely, it's very scary, super concerning. I was thinking, how did they get through security?
The two who had scaled the building getting past security, then one proposing to the other.
Oh, dear God, Kira. This guy is getting down on a knee, perhaps proposing to this individual.
Oh my gosh.
The two shared a dramatic kiss.
Another kissing, Kimberly. To share this with you as bizarre a New York City moment as I've ever seen.
I love this city.
Police identifying that couple as Angela Nikolaou and Ivan Kuznetsov, Russian nationals who documented the whole thing, posting this breathtaking view, not for the faint of heart. And these close-ups, Kuznetsov on bended knee, Nikolaou showing off the ring, their fingers intertwined with all of New York City below. And tonight, the NYPD releasing this video.
Hello? How you doing? Can you just stay where you are?
Showing specially trained officers with helmets and harnesses meeting the couple on their descent.
You can't be up here.
And taking them into custody.
Yeah, I'm okay.
The couple has done this before, as seen in the 2024 Netflix documentary Skywalkers, a love story.
Love is like heights. The fear never goes away. You just get better at facing it.
Tonight, authorities are investigating how they reached the spire of the country's most iconic building, a stunning breach of security.
The two climbers from the Empire State Building just behind me here, David, are facing multiple charges tonight. They broke into a secure area, squirreled up that spire, endangered themselves and others, and raised alarms in a city already on high alert. It was quite the spectacle, David. It also broke the law. David?
We were all watching closely here in the newsroom today. Aaron Katersky leading us off tonight. Aaron, thank you. Tonight in Venezuela, 7 days after those earthquakes, you will see the man who is still alive waving his hand from underneath the rubble. They are still trying to get to him tonight. James Longman in Venezuela.
Haunting new images tonight of the moment back-to-back earthquakes rocked Venezuela, sending people scrambling and buildings collapsing to the ground. Exactly 1 week ago, the death toll today jumped to nearly 2,300. But under the staggering devastation, there are signs of life. This man desperately waving a hand from beneath the rubble. International rescue teams are now racing to free him, and he's not alone.
And I'm at the scene of an ongoing rescue. You can see this building here. They got signs of life from a man at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they have not stopped digging below.
At another site, you can faintly hear the voice of a man trapped behind this tiny hole. Rescuers are keeping him alive by pouring Gatorade through a flexible straw. There's almost no government help here. So many families are digging with their own hands to find loved ones. Fernando is looking for his 19-year-old niece, saying, "We have to keep fighting because we have to find her." 12-year-old Carlos was rescued after 5 days. His family in Miami calls it a miracle.
Here we are, day 7, and they're still finding people, and you know, hope is still there, and hope is still alive.
David, no one is giving up hope here. This rescue team has been working through the night to free a man stuck below the building, but there are still thousands missing. David.
And they are not giving up hope. James Longman again tonight. Thank you, James. Tonight, there's also an urgent search underway for a missing crew member after a U.S. Navy helicopter went down in the Arabian Sea. Navy officials say Seahawk conducted an emergency water landing. 4 crew members on board. 3 have been recovered. They are in stable condition tonight. The Navy says there is no indication hostile action was involved. Again, 3 crew members rescued in stable condition, 1 still missing. We turn now to this mystery involving Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Tonight, the Associated Press is now reporting a law enforcement official says the wedding is happening. And tonight, what New York City's police commissioner is now saying. Here's Morgan Norwood.
Under a cloud of secrecy, crews at New York's iconic Madison Square Garden are intensely unloading equipment and erecting black tarps tonight in anticipation for the event of the summer. A law enforcement official briefed on the matter, telling the Associated Press global superstar Taylor Swift and Super Bowl champion Travis Kelce will have their wedding Friday night in that arena. Since the announcement of their engagement last summer, fans have not calmed down. Boxes labeled garden party spotted near the loading dock, workers testing out a red carpet. Those invited inside should expect no unauthorized photos. The sources telling ABC News everyone from guests to vendors to security guards will not be allowed to take out their phones. The first event taking place tomorrow evening for about 100 people. The second is for about 1,000 people and is a 12-hour party beginning with a cocktail hour at 4 o'clock Friday afternoon and scheduled to last until about 4 a.m. Saturday morning.
I would be remiss not to mention an event that we are tracking at Madison Square Garden on Friday night. The NYPD will, of course, have a detail in place.
And David, as you just heard, a law enforcement source telling the AP the wedding will take place on Friday, though the couple has not confirmed. But in true Taylor Swift fashion, there's always a possibility the real love story could be unfolding elsewhere, or maybe in another era. David?
All right, we'll see. Morgan Norwood, thanks. Turn to a horrific scene unfolding in Hamden, Ohio. 16 children have been rescued. Here's Matt Rivers tonight.
Tonight, the disturbing discovery inside this Ohio home. 16 children rescued from deplorable conditions. Authorities saying they had been held in a 12 by 12 foot area for much of the past 4 years. The youngest just 18 months old.
This is pure evil. What we saw down here today is pure evil.
Law enforcement officers executing a search warrant yesterday, finding 20 members of the Siders family living inside this 1,300 square foot home in the village of Hamden, about 80 miles south of Columbus. The children's mother, father, grandmother, and grandfather placed under arrest, arraigned today on 16 charges of child endangerment, all pleading not guilty.
Most of our livestock was kept in better conditions than the children. It was extremely high presence, I'm sure, of bacterial and human feces.
Tonight, authorities say the kids, who range in age from 18 months to 18 years, are safe. 7 of the children were treated overnight at the hospital. 2 were life-flighted in serious condition. David, the parents and grandparents are each being held on a $300,000 bond. David?
Matt Rivers reporting tonight. Thanks, Matt.
That is extremely hard to hear. And as a parent, I can't understand how someone could do this to kids. I am grateful that they were caught and justice will be made. Let's move ahead to additional worldwide news.
To the index of other news, actor Danny Glover tonight revealing he has Alzheimer's. The 79-year-old, known for The Color Purple and Lethal Weapon, was diagnosed in 2023. He says he still doesn't fully accept this, but says his family has his back and we're pulling for him. Tonight, President Trump flying for the first time in his new Air Force One, a $400 million gift from Qatar. Hundreds of millions in U.S. taxpayer money then spent to retrofit the Qatari plane. And tonight here, also the new disclosure. President Trump made $2.2 billion last year. Tonight, why he says he's profiting. Here's Rachel Scott.
Tonight, President Trump taking off for the first time in his brand new Air Force One, an unprecedented $400 million gift from the government of Qatar, retrofitted by the Pentagon with hundreds of millions of American tax dollars.
So this will be the first flight of what I think is maybe the greatest commercial plane ever built.
White House staffers posting pictures inside, spacious rooms, gleaming fixtures. And when President Trump leaves the White House, it all goes with him. A highly unusual arrangement that transfers ownership of the plane to his presidential library. It comes as the president's mandatory financial disclosure forms show that in his first year back in office, President Trump pulled in a stunning $2.2 billion in income, 3 times more than what he made the year before. Our Mary Bruce asking the president,
what message does this send to average Americans, especially those who may be struggling right now financially?
I don't get involved in my personal. We have funds that run my money.
Unlike past presidents, President Trump has not put his business into a blind trust. It's being run by his sons, Don Jr. and Eric, who accompanied him on today's flight. $1.4 billion of the money he made last year came from his family's crypto business, which boomed as his administration loosened regulations on the industry.
We're going to be the undisputed crypto capital and Bitcoin superpower of the world. Bitcoin's very powerful.
The Trump family's crypto company, World Liberty Financial, getting a major investment from a firm closely tied to the United Arab Emirates. Democrats on the attack.
Obviously, Trump has been engaging in an all-you-can-eat corruption buffet.
President Trump with his reason for why he's profiting.
To critics who say you're profiting off the presidency, Mr.
Well, you know why I'm profiting? Because the stock market's going up. Everybody's profiting.
And David, there are also questions tonight about the president's sons, Eric and Don Jr. They have deep investments in defense contracts and prediction markets. Democrats call it corruption, plain and simple, David.
Rachel Scott live at the White House tonight. Rachel, thanks so much.
All right, everyone, let's take a look at the 3-day forecast. Wednesday, we have a high of 91, a low of 73. Thursday, a high of 89, a low of 74. And Friday, a high of 92 and low of 75. Let's move ahead to additional weather.
now to the life-threatening heat. For 160 million Americans across 30 states tonight, the Midwest baking, of course, the East sweltering too, and now preparing for temperatures that will feel like well above 100-degree temperatures for days here. Major cities declaring heat emergencies tonight, triple-digit temperatures, those feel-like readings on the way. New York City will feel like 110, Philly 112, Washington, D.C. 113. The Midwest and the South sweltering tonight. Lee Goldberg with the forecast. This lasts right into the 4th of July. And Rhiannon Alley tonight with the warnings from authorities.
Tonight, more than half the country feeling like a furnace as the scorching heat dome spreads over the East Coast ahead of what will likely be the hottest 4th of July holiday in more than 15 years. D.C. feeling like 110, Philly 107, and Syracuse feeling like 111 degrees. New York City's heat index 102 degrees today, and tomorrow will be even hotter. In New York City, some 500 people a year die from high temperatures, but in a city like this, it can be unavoidable to be outside in this heat, including for utility workers like these.
The city has opened hundreds of cooling centers across the 5 boroughs. We have also launched a fleet of more than a dozen cool vans.
Just north of New York City,
we have about 15 here, 5 that are in and out of conscious.
A group of nearly 20 ROTC cadets on their way home from camp rushed to hospitals after their bus lost AC in Goshen, New York. Many taking refuge at the beach. Lifeguards on Long Island keeping a close eye amid rip current warnings. And that's not all. This hammerhead shark spotted swimming off the Long Island shore this week, not far from swimmers. David, the massive Jacob Javits Center behind me is one of 600 cooling centers the city has open. But it's not just the daytime temperatures that are concerning to people. Here in New York City, it will stay in the 80s overnight, offering little relief. David?
Really, that's the incredible thing. Rhiannon Alley with us on the weather tonight. Rhiannon, thank you. Let's get right to senior meteorologist Lee Goldberg back with us this evening. Without the suit jacket, rarely see that from Lee Goldberg, but we know it's serious, and this is going to last for days, right, Lee?
Yes, no jacket required in this stretch for sure. We're starting to broil here in New York. Feels like 101. The air is unhealthy, and this is just the beginning. The heat warnings have expanded from the Midwest into the Northeast. And tomorrow, look at the huge area of real estate with heat indices from 100 to 110. I mean, it's most of the east. It's the second day of the heat wave in the Northeast. This will peak on Thursday and Friday. A rare level 4 for extreme heat risk across the I-95 corridor on Friday, kicking off the holiday weekend. It'll feel like 110 in New York, 112 in Philly, and 113 in D.C. A little less extreme on the 4th, but still super hot and a risk of thunderstorms. David?
Lee Goldberg back with us tonight. We sure do appreciate it. Thanks, Lee.
All right, everyone. I really believe the USA can pull off winning in the World Cup. I used to play soccer in high school for North Charleston High School. I'm going to attempt a kick from 30 yards out. Let's see if I can make it. That's how it's done, everyone. Let's go, USA. Up next, sports.
Lowcountry Sports News Alert.
Tonight, here we go. The World Cup, the U.S. men's team. It's win or go home. Whit Johnson standing by at the match tonight for us. Hey, Whit.
David, this U.S. men's World Cup team is trying to advance out of a knockout round game for the first time since 2002. The Americans are heavily favored in this must-win match against Bosnia and Herzegovina, but have not beaten a team from Europe in 5 years. All eyes are on star forward Christian Pulisic, who left the opening match against Paraguay with a calf injury, but returned to the pitch in the third match against Turkey. And David, this FIFA World Cup has already set a new record with more than 5 million people attending the matches. And I can tell you the energy here in the Bay Area has been electric for this critical game tonight. David?
All right, thanks so much, Whit.
All right, everyone, for Lowcountry News, I'm Monica Justice.
And I'm Warren Truth. Please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to True Perspective 843 on all platforms. Good night, everyone. Stay safe and see you tomorrow.